Alright, well, welcome back to MrJayDM. Today's video is a continuance of last video. Like I said at the end of last video, if you didn't see it, I have split this up into 3 videos. The first video was the rings on the pistons, and then this video is going to be the main and rod bearings, and then the third video will be all the accessories. Please enjoy, please subscribe, and I'll see you all again at the end of this video. Alright, and just like that, we have all 4 pistons in there. Now we need to rotate this, and we need to put the bearings in, the main bearings and the rod bearings, and we need to check the clearances on that. We're going to use some good old plastic gauge. This isn't 100% accurate, but it's pretty damn close. Alright, so now we are ready to put our main bearings in. Right here, we have some king bearings. Here you have your top and bottom. This one is the bottom. It has the groove. The top does not have the groove. And you see this little divot right here, and then on the block side there's a little divot. I forget what they call that, but that's where that goes. Slide that into there. And you do the rest of them the same way. You want them to be flush with the block. Alright, now we can set the crank on here. And right now we're just checking tolerances, and that's it. Here is an idea of what you do. You put a little bit onto each one of them, and then you torque it down, and then you untorque it, and you remove it, and you measure how much it has smashed. Of course, you want to make sure all your journals are clean. Alright, now we take our crank caps and put the bearing in that. And again, you make sure your little divot is on the right spot and it is flush with that. And this is number 1. A little divot and the divot on that. And number 2, and it points that direction towards the timing side. Alright, so when I was editing this video, I realized I didn't really explain what plastic gauge is. So inside this is this little plastic wire, if that's what you want to call it. And what you do is you break a piece of it off and you set it across the journal, and then when you tighten the journal down, it will smash, and it will smash down to one of these, and that's how you know your tolerances between the bearing and the crank or the rod. I hope that that explains it a little bit more. We're just going to tighten them down with this, and then we'll go back and torque them. Alright, now we need to torque these bolts. And as stated here, we torque them down to, we do it twice. We do 18 and then 56 foot-pounds. You work your way from center to out. I really want to get an electric one. Alright, now we do 56. Alright, now they're torqued. Now we need to remove them so we can check the plastic gauge. And of course we want to remove them from the outside in. Number 1, 2, 4, 5 is 0.024 to 0.042 or 0.0009 to 0.0017 inches. Alright, so on our gauge here we have 0.025 millimeters. Can you see that? That looks spot on. So we're definitely within spec. Let's check the other ones. Number 2, what do y'all think? Pretty damn close. I'm happy with it. Now this is number 3. And number 3 is 0.030 to 0.048. We don't have like a 0.030, but we have a 0.038. You see that? That's pretty close. So I'm happy with that. Looks pretty good to me. Alright. We got the last one out. Let's check the tolerances on that one. What do you think? Looks pretty good? Alright. I think so too. Alright, now we need to clean off the little plastic gauge on the crank and the caps, and then we'll do the pistons, or the piston rods, next. Alright, we got the crank in there, we got it lined up properly with the rods, but we have to put the thrust washers in there. You see these little grooves here? You want them to face towards the crank. So this side will face that way, this side will face that way. And you basically just slide it in. And that's it. This side is being a little bit of a pain in the butt. Alright, and there we go. We got both sides in. Now we are going to tighten down our caps. And again, they're all labeled. Alright, and the torque is 18 pounds and then 56 pounds. And of course we torque from the center out. And now we do 56. Alright, now we do the rod bearings. And of course you put this little piece, it's called the tang. You put that right here. We're going to do all 4, and then we'll do the plastic gauge. Once we get all these, then we'll be right back. Alright, so we got our bearings on our caps, and we got the plastic gauge on all of them. So now we need to torque down the caps, and then we can check the smash to see if our tolerances are correct. Alright, now we torque the the connecting rods down to 23 foot-pounds. To me, that doesn't seem like a whole lot, but I guess that's all it takes. All right, now we unscrew it all. Check the squish. We're gonna do these two, and then we'll do the outside too. Where is my impact? There it is. And of course it won't. All right, so the connecting rod clearances 0.020 to 0.038. We are on the money at 0.025, so we're good. Can you see that? Maybe. It's really hard, but that's 0.025, that's 0.028. So we're within our limit. We're going to clean this off. And clean this side off. Put it back on there. What did I do with the assembly lube? There it is. Alright, we're going to squeeze some assembly lube down into the bearings on the rods. Alright, put some assembly lube on the top. Now let's retorque these. All right, and the bottom end is pretty much assembled. We need to do the water or oil pump, water pump, the rear main seal, but other than that, it's mostly assembled. All right, we got her oiled up, and she spins pretty freely, really nice. All right, so next we're gonna put the oil pump on. We have a brand new oil pump. Okay, and just like that, we are done with this video. We got all the rod and main bearings installed. We checked all the clearances. They're all within spec, and so we shouldn't have any problems with the engine. But now what we need to do is, once we get the whole engine together, you will need to run the engine for like an hour, maybe two, just at idle, and then drain the oil, put fresh oil in it, and then drive it for 500 miles, drain that oil, put fresh oil in it, and then it should be good. And you do this during this break-in period, I guess you want to call it, to make sure that the rings are set. We're basically breaking in the rings to the cylinder walls, because the cylinder walls are fresh. They have a nice hone on them, and the rings are fresh, and they haven't exactly, I guess, matched up with the cylinder walls. And so you need to do this break-in process. It's very important. If you just send it and not change the oil for 3,000 miles, you could cause some problems. But oh well, we're going to end it here, and I really appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video.